Today you'll learn how to do the Hungarian stitch. It's a versatile stitch that can be worked horizontally or vertically and looks great in either direction. It's comprised of 3 stitches and creates a diamond pattern. It is a straight stitch that's good for backgrounds, articles of clothing, and landscapes. It's fast moving and it creates a wonderful pattern and really great texture. You'll begin by pulling up through the back of your canvas. You'll skip over 1 hole and drop down into that 3rd hole. For your 2nd stitch, you'll come over 1, down 1 from where your 1st stitch began. And this time you'll skip over 3 canvas holes. So 1, 2, 3, and drop down into that 4th hole. And for your 3rd stitch, you're just going to repeat your 1st stitch. So skip over 1 hole. To move on to your 2nd stitch, you're going to skip 1 canvas hole in the middle of your 1st and 3rd stitches. So you'll skip that canvas hole and then you'll repeat that pattern. So skipping over 1 hole, dropping down 1, and skipping over 3 holes, and then finishing the pattern by skipping over 1 hole. Then you'll do the same thing, skip over that hole, and then start your next complete stitch. So you'll just continue in your row in this same exact pattern until you've reached the end of your design area. Now, to skip down a row, all you'll be doing is utilizing this missed hole with your long stitch. So I'm going to flank my long stitch by those 2 stitches that skip over 1 hole. So this time I'll go over 1, down 1, and you'll see it's going to fit perfectly in that blank space that was left by our previous row. So I'll skip 3 holes, 1, 2, 3, and drop down into that 4th hole. So same thing here, I'll skip over this canvas hole for my 2nd stitch in this row to repeat the pattern. And this stitch is going to fit perfectly into that empty canvas hole. And you'll just repeat this until you've filled in your design area. And you will have to compensate in your empty spaces, but just know that you're always going to be following the pattern where your long stitch will fit into that middle blank hole and your 2 stitches will always be flanking it to create this diamond pattern. And by the time you get down to your 3rd row and beyond, you'll notice that your stitches are lining up. So you'll start to see that all of your shorter stitches are in the same line and all of your long stitches are in the same line. So that's another way that you can check yourself as you're moving along. So you'll see that all of my short stitches are in the same row and all of my long stitches are in the same row as well.